Oh, really? Who's that? Leak, leak,
Okay,
leak, 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 leak,
okay.
leak, leak, leak.
Drama fest, drama
Mm,
fest.
yeah, I
So,
mean, little
brother,
episode.
I just kind of want you to go where it all began. Like, how did you even get into streaming? And did you get into streaming and went straight into RP? Was you just streaming some other shit, then heard about RP? Like, where did everything start?
Where did everything start? Ooh, so first game I think I've ever streamed is probably Gmod.
Gmod. Yeah.
Yeah, so me and my cousins used to play Gmod RP days. So we
Hmm.
couldn't afford like GTA 6, I mean GTA 5. So we were just kids playing on Gmod servers.
Yeah.
We ended up playing that, and then we got bored. I got banned off a couple Gmod servers. They got banned off a couple Gmod servers. We ended up we stopped playing, and then I personally like making these like little YouTube skits with like GTA characters.
Yeah.
So I started doing that with my I started doing them solo, and then I started doing them with my
What, on like
cousins.
YouTube?
Yeah, like on YouTube. So like
Nice.
it's like your GTA character, but it's like little like say I think I was doing like Middle Eastern skits back then,
Yeah.
in a sense. It was just like little skits with like individual characters. So Patar was one. I had Abdullah as one. Um I think there was a couple other characters, but I would record that with my cousins.
Yeah.
Eventually they started getting busy. And I was like, shit, I need more people to help me with voice lines because I don't want it just be me. So eventually, I was like, oh, where can I find people? So then I was watching YouTube, and I saw RP servers, and I'm like, oh shit, this is actually cool. Like I used to play Gmod. I'm sure I can probably make some friends on RP servers and kind of find people who'd want to record skits with me.
Yeah.
So eventually, server hopped. Ended up playing a server called Thug Life.
Dog life. Okay.
Yeah, that's the same. Apparently, Suarez played with me. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, what's his name? Okay, I don't want to say what's his name, but he plays Johnson. I just can't remember his
cop.
yeah, I can't remember his streamer name.
Yeah, I don't know his
Johnson.
streaming
Yeah,
name.
Johnson. He's from Thug Life. He was
Was
playing with
he?
he was playing with Suarez.
Was he?
Yeah,
See, I
yeah,
don't know if I played with Suarez or not.
yeah.
When I was playing on there, Patar was a taxi driver, and I would just do a bunch of taxi rides for people.
That's
Eventually,
awesome.
Patar. Yeah, so eventually, like, whenever I logged in, people would just like we just do dumb stuff. So played on Thug Life for a little bit, met a couple people. Was gonna do a collab with someone. I don't want to mention their name because it's a little bit drama, but we were gonna make a skit. We had ideas. One skit
Wait,
for
where you
him,
was
one
gonna do a
skit for
collab with
me.
who? You don't want to say it, or like
He was at the time he was a bigger YouTuber, so like had a good couple 100K on YouTube.
what? He got canceled
Um,
or some shit?
Didn't get canceled.
Oh,
We
okay,
were supposed to do a skit, one for his channel, one for my channel,
sick. And how did you meet him, through an RP server?
through the RP server.
Oh, sick.
So
Yeah.
we were on the RP server. He messaged me and was like, "Oh shit, I'd love to do a skit. We'll do one for your channel. We'll do for one for my channel." The drama that happened was pretty much just he wanted all the skits for himself. He didn't want to do like a one for his channel, one for my channel.
Oh, he
So
was like one for none.
yeah, one for none. So he's like, "We'll do it
Well,
for mine, and we won't do it for yours." And I was
yeah.
like, like it would have been cool,
Yeah.
but I don't move that way. So I was just like, nah, and then I just did it myself.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Boss shit.
yeah, there was that. But no, eventually, like I was playing the server, met a good handful of people, and then Adin, Clicks, and all of like the SSB boys jumped onto Thug Life. I'm still looking for this clip because it has to be out there. I wasn't streaming.
Yeah.
I didn't stream back then, but in the clip, Adin picks me up, holds me as a hostage. As you know, in like public servers, you can hold someone hostage if you have a gun out. He held me as a hostage. I started screaming as Patar, and they were like taking the piss out of me, and they held me over a bridge and they dropped me off a bridge, and I guess they liked the interaction we had, so they got the admin of that server to like teleport me to them after I got like medical and everything,
Sick.
and that's kind of how like I started hanging out with them,
Damn. So like you just became a hostage and then boom.
Yeah, I was a hostage. Then they
So
left
did you
me.
know it was like Adin and them at the time, or
No,
you was just like,
the owner of the server at the time messaged me. He's like, "Do you know who you're playing with?" I was like, "I have no clue."
yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, you're with Clicks and Aiden and everyone." I was like, "Oh, cool."
damn,
Yeah, I like I was the newbiest ever.
yeah,
With Twitch at that time, I pretty much only streamer I knew, and like I'd never watched Twitch back then.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I was a YouTube Andy. I'd watch my MKBHD. I'd
yeah,
watch my little tech videos. I was happy with that, you know.
yeah.
So I did not know anything about Twitch back then.
And then you said you wasn't even streaming then, so
No, I didn't stream. I mean, like prior to that, I've done like little Gmod streams,
yeah.
just testing out shit. But my internet was so shit, I just gave up on that. You know, it was more YouTube back then. Just trying to do the little skits.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so now with the the whole Thug Life server, you started chilling
Yeah.
with like the Adin Ross crew. Like
Yeah.
how did that transpire? Like what was that like? How long was that for?
It lasted a long time. Like it was a nice experience. So the journey was kind of Thug Life. Then we went on So the owner of Thug Life
Yeah.
runs T Grizzly server too.
Oh
So
really?
pretty
Okay.
much, yeah. So pretty much how it was Thug Life was like it became too much of a like kids were just coming on being like Aiden,
Yeah.
Aiden,
Yeah.
Aiden. And then they were like, hey, let's move on to Grizzly World because it's a little bit more whitelisted per se.
Yeah.
So we went on Grizzly World. We ended up spending
So they like told you were hanging out with them, so they all told you to come.
yeah. So
That's dope.
they pretty much were like, yeah, come. North, the server owner gave us whitelist, this, that, and everything. And then we just spent a good couple of months on Grizzly World just being little shitters. That's actually where I met Dean. So yeah, so the way me and Dean, I still remember it to this day. You know the road heading towards Pillbox
Yeah.
where it like splits and then there's like a patch of grass, the like median.
Like upper pillbox, right? Yeah.
Upper
Yeah.
Pillbox.
Okay.
So I was coming down,
Across from
heading towards towards Pillbox. I crashed into Dean. Typical Patari, you know, can't drive.
Yeah.
So I crashed into Dean, and I'm like, "Yo, who's this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Dean SSB," and I'm like, "Huh, I'm SSB too."
Yeah.
And then we just clicked from then. We just
Wait, Dean
did
was in
everything
SSB?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, no, he was.
never told me
He was
that.
in Yeah, no, he was in. And that's how me and Dean met,
That's
and
crazy.
we just built up from there. Yeah.
Damn. So what was that experience like being in Grizzly World? Because isn't like I'm not sure. Isn't that like just like Haneke or die? No.
It was fun because we were like the little menaces, you know.
Yeah.
Like when you're at the top being the menaces, it's fun for
It's
you.
different, right? It's different.
Yeah, it's different. When
yeah.
you're the underdog, being held up for 100K, it's kind of shitty. But when you're the one doing it, it's like you know.
Yeah.
But no, it was a bit of a 100K or die server. But the thing is, like, it was interesting because like T Grizzly would have a lot of like pretty much a lot of the scenes we would have is like SSB versus T Grizzly's gang.
Yeah.
And it'd be like a constant back and forth. Like there were moments where we like overran the mayor, we did a bunch of stuff. And it is kind of like a 100K or die server. But it was
some role play.
really fun. There 100% is role play on it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's hard. I think they're whitelisted now, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're like a pure whitelist server. But I think with like servers that are like public, it's hard to make it like a proper roleplay server. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Even
You have too many shitters.
Even whitelist, bro. That's even hard too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So at this time, are you streaming now? Like where you at as far as like person?
Timeline wise, I didn't start. I streamed on like Thug Life a little bit, but it'd be like 1 hour streams because my internet couldn't handle it. Then Grizzly World, I think we updated our internet to like fiber internet.
Yeah.
Because they actually got the lines in my neighborhood after like 20 years. So I think we upgraded the lines, and then I started streaming daily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now being exposed in Adam's group and stuff, was that Trent like was that coming over on your stream? Like, were you like, how was that?
Yeah, no, like I mean, at times, it was more like in the mornings people would like go crazy. And then when Aiden and Clicks and everyone would get on, we'd just become menaces. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty much in the mornings, what me and Dean started doing, if we fast forward to like going on actual SSB. So after playing,
Oh, so you left Grizzly and then went to
yes,
SSB.
we left Grizzly after like 4 months, I'd say, and then we went to SSB, which was Aiden's server. That's pretty much what we used to do. Is like in the mornings, me and Dean used to go crazy with PD, and he was the chief of PD, and I was like his under chief.
Yeah.
And we just, I'm gonna be honest, we would just get on a truck and have like little drug events and like mow down people at like certain drug points,
Yeah.
So we'd be little menaces then, and then whenever the boys hopped on, we'd just we'd just be little shitters with them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so how did that end? Because that seems like that was like a crazy time.
How did that end? SSB, it just came to a point where there was too many weirdos on it. Like we had a bunch of hackers coming in. Like it was to a point. If you go AFK, you have to mute your stream because there would be hackers that would log in and just scream the hard R, and just
Really?
spam it. Yeah. So it just became like a cluster of just like weird hackers coming on it, just weirdos coming on it, and then they're just like, yeah, no, this is just too much,
Damn.
Yeah.
And so what happens after that? Where do you go?
So after SSB, I think we went on Chief Keef's server. I think it was like Phonem or something.
Phone them, yeah.
Yeah. So we went on Chief Keef's server for a good couple of months, and that's where the like I don't know if you've heard my sub alert, but that's where the Dean sub alert clip comes from.
Oh, I haven't heard the sub alert, but I've
Yeah.
heard about it.
Yeah, so pretty much what it was is I think Patar and Dean stole a car from someone. They're driving around, and on Chief Keef's server, if you die 3 times, you get like perma killed. I can't lie, his server was a bit of a scam. I don't know if he
What do you
purposely
mean
is scamming
permanent
people.
killed?
Like if you get shot 3 times and your character's down on the floor, you're dead. You have to delete that character unless you buy a revive with like IRL money.
Oh, okay, that's a
So
scam,
like
yeah.
the admins, yeah, the admins would be like, yeah, you gotta cash app me for an extra life, or if you wanted guns on the server, you'd have to cash app an admin. So I don't know if Chief Keef knew
Yeah.
this was going on, but his admins would be like, yeah, cash app me, you can buy this, you can buy that, you can buy this. If your character dies, you can buy an extra life. So pretty much we were rolling around. Some guy starts, the guy that we stole the car from starts shooting Dean. And Dean's screen goes black. He thinks he's dead. He's pissed. He smacks his desk and screams the famous sub alert. And yeah, no, I can't lie. Like looking back at it, I enjoyed every server we were on. Like there's just the journey alone was very sick.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's like a good time with your boys.
Yeah.
Like you guys are just going.
Yeah, there's no drama, no OOC bullshit. OOC didn't even exist then. It was just you
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
boy just mowing servers, just having fun, being dumb little shits.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so we went on Chief Keef's server. Eventually we just got bored of that. And then that's when NoPixel came about.
Okay.
Me and Dean hopped on NoPixel. I used to play, so I got into NoPixel from someone on Thug Life because I didn't think I could apply to NoPixel. I thought it was like how everyone kind of assumes, oh, it's streamer only, you gotta be clouded to be on it, X, Y, and Z. So I didn't join until there was someone on Thug Life that was like, oh, I'm whitelisted on NoPixel. And I started talking to them and they kind of helped me through the process. So first time I logged into NoPixel, it was with my like IRL cousin. His name in the server was Huckleberry, and we were just fishermen. We were trying to just log in, fish, do our thing. We talked to Abdul. Abdul's like, hey, kind of
Abdul.
hinting. Yeah, Abdul's the goat.
Yeah.
He was trying to like kind of hint us the right direction to kind of like earn prio, kind of get noticed.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so with his guidance, we ended up opening up P in the Sea, which was like a little we kind of managed. Do you remember the old fishing spot?
Yeah.
Like near BBMC territory.
Oh no, I wasn't even around then.
Oh, so you weren't around then.
Oh, no.
So that's where the fishing spot used to be. You had to rent a boat and go out and sea and fish. So we kind of started managing that. We kind of did that. But one thing we kind of noticed was whenever we weren't around together, nobody wanted to talk to us.
Yeah.
So then I just eventually quit for like a couple months. Yeah. So the time I came back was when me and Dean came back together.
Okay. And this is like the, I guess the SSB squad is no longer together.
I think like the normal, like the core SSB squad is together still.
Yeah.
But we were more like the GTA squad, you know?
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're still together.
Yeah, that's what I meant, like kind of like GTA stuff.
Yeah, the GTA stuff, no. I think a lot of people went their separate ways. Some people went and made their own servers. Some people play on other servers.
So there
and
was
some people just don't play.
Was there never a thought in your head to like try to get into like the main squad and like do what those guys doing, or was that like
the SSB main squad?
Yeah. Or was that just like not a
that
thing?
it was never like a thought in my mind. No, not really.
Oh, okay.
The way I viewed it is the main squad is the main squad, you know?
Yeah. But they bring new people in, so you know, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I like to stay in my own lane. I don't like to tunnel my nose, you know?
Yeah.
So I even if that was the case, I probably wouldn't tunnel my nose and be like,
yeah, you would be just like, yeah, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
So I guess now like you and Dean become close.
Yeah.
And you guys transition to NoPixel.
Yeah. So pretty much the day we crashed into each other, that's pretty much when we started hang out like almost every day. And then we just server hopped together. We went from this server to that server to this server to that server. And then it eventually led to NoPixel back again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now you're, like I said, you went back to, after you went to NoPixel for a bit, you took a couple months off, then went back.
Yeah.
What was going on there? Because you went into you got into NBC, right? What was that?
Yeah.
How was that a build up? Like what?
So pretty much how it was is me and Dean were hanging out together. Dean got closer with the group NBC. And then it kind of became like our daily routine where we'd hang out with them. And then eventually they just went like non-existent. None of them would wake up. Whenever they would wake up, it'd be like
so was
super late.
Peanut around those times, or
he was until like later, like a couple months later, he just wasn't there anymore. Or if he was, I don't think. See, I think they would all. So how it was is everyone would wake up. I think Guy was still at school, so everyone would kind of wake up when Guy woke up, but that's like when me and Dean are already off, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, so they're like late night degens.
Yeah, late night stuff.
Yeah.
Man, so are you now at this point in time, are you streaming full time?
At this time, coming to NoPixel, yes, we were streaming full time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So coming to NoPixel is full time. One person that like 100% like I ordered something off their site and I wish we had it here because it would be perfect for the stream. Was Clicks. Clicks showed us stupid amount of love. Like even last year, I think he rated us.
Really?
And this is like a year of not even interacting with each other, either whether it's role play or this or that. Yeah.
Clicks.
Good
Good dude. They seem
There's
like
a-
good dudes, man. They seem like
yeah.
Aiden even
No,
seems like a good dude.
they're all like very genuine, like good people.
Yeah.
Especially like behind the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot of people showed us love throughout the way. Some are canceled, some are still going.
You've seen a
Some
lot.
are,
You've seen a lot of careers come and go, right?
yeah, no, we've seen a lot of careers come and go.
Yeah.
But no, I'd say like there's a lot of people. Like even if I tried to list them now, I probably couldn't list everyone. But I'd say Dean and Clicks showed us stupid amount of love. And Dean, Dean,
Yeah.
like he'll always look out for his boys. So
Dean,
he always kind of looked out for us. He always like guided us the right direction, you know.
And Dean was pretty big at that time as well, right? He was.
Yeah, Dean so cool among us.
Among Us.
Dean,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now NBC those boys stopped coming in.
Yeah.
How did obviously we all know, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to this part. How did the Mandem come about? Like, how did that even happen?
Mandem was already a thing before me and Dean joined.
Really? I didn't know that.
Happened. It was made before Patar and Dean even joined the Mandem. I remember it was the day Patar was gonna join NBC is when they were kind of created. Because I remember them asking, "Hey, like, are you fully like, do you have your mind fully set on NBC?" So it's their way of kind of asking, like, "Hey, do you want to join what we're doing, or is your mind fully set on NBC?" And Patar already gave NBC their word, so he didn't want to take that back. So he pretty much was like, "No, like I already gave them my word. I'm not gonna go back on it." Right?
Yeah.
So that's when Tommy, Eli, Wayne, the guy that's banned, Adam, the weirdo, we don't like him, and Moses. Did I mention Moses?
Moses, okay, yeah.
Moses, yes. So they and there's the little one, I forget his name. The one that was like 12, Remy.
I remember you mentioned him before. I never heard about Remy, but I remember you mentioned him when we were.
He got banned quick.
He was 12.
I think he got. I don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know if I think he's 18 now.
Okay.
But he was like young. I think the only thing like he did wrong was he would ERP and like.
Oh, he was doing too much. Yeah.
He was doing too much. You know.
So did he have a voice changer or no?
No, I don't. He didn't have a voice changer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like even any server right now, there's people that are underage. You know, whether it's NoPixel, whether it's this, whether it's that. But I would my piece of advice is if you do slip through the cracks, just don't do too much. You know, don't go ERPing. Don't be
chill out.
Weird,
just chill out a bit.
Just chill out. You know.
Yeah.
Just chill out.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much. I don't know exactly how it was, but I know at least it was like 4 of them, 5 of them.
Yeah.
I don't even think Tommy. So I think it was probably the 4 of them that kind of started it, and then they'd start like inviting people. So Patar technically could have been there when it was fully founded, but they made the Mandem. Patar and Dean were NBC. Patar joined NBC the day kind of like Mandem was kind of created. And then it pretty much fast forward from there, we were pretty much spending every like living moment with the Mandem.
While you're in NBC, because NBC is not waking
while
up.
we're in NBC. Yeah. So I mean Salim would wake up. He would like ruin his whole sleep schedule to kind of hang out with Patar.
That's awesome,
yeah. So I remember like the days me and Salim used to go boost and do like our city shenanigans. But pretty much moving forward, Patar and Dean were pretty much spending like every living moment with Mandem while they were in NBC. And then months kind of went by. Patar and Dean kind of had a little chit chat. They made a decision, you know, maybe we've got to say bye to NBC and see if we have a chance with Mandem. And then they kind of YOLO'd it from there, and they went to the block. or they were called to the block. They got the chains, and then there's history since then. You know.
So yeah, so now you guys are part. So like you said, it was created, but like at this point of time, you of course you and like Dean had a good foot in the door as far as establishing the Mandem, right? Because there was what, 7 of you guys at this time now.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
So Patar and Dean like joined quite early, I'd say.
yeah,
So then months kind of went on. We were just amend them, building connections, building relationships with people, and Dean and Patar kind of brought what they knew into the gang, and then they kind of worked together, just being the gang they were. And I think that's probably the best part about the Mandem is we weren't trying to be CG, we weren't trying to be this, we weren't trying to be the biggest baddest gang. We just did things our way, you know.
yeah.
And I think that's also the downfall of the Mandem, because me and Moses were talking about this, and what I believe be the downfall of the Mandem is when gang apps came in and we tried shifting what the gang was, and in a sense tried being what CG was versus what we were, you know? We didn't stick true to ourselves per se.
Interesting. So, like when you in a sense, because Mandem was a very unique gang.
Yeah.
Even when I came into NoPixel, you hear about CG and then Mandem, and like you'll be like, there was like a presence, there was an aura. Do you think, like you said, the gang app, but do you think also it's a viewer thing where like you see a viewers complaining, oh, they need to be more hard ass, they need to be more gun oriented, they need to be more that, and like, do you feel like that got to a lot of the members' head where they try to change that to that perspective, I guess?
It could have. So it could have. I think looking back at it, yes, because I think half the gang wanted to be more street like gangster like, and then half the gang wanted to stay true to its roots.
Yeah.
So this is like, I think there was a little bit of shift of like, hey, we want to be these crazy menaces. Like we need to show people that we can hold our own. We can kind of do both. So I don't know if it was viewers that kind of shifted that, but there were members of the Mandem that wanted to go that route, where it's like, no, we need to show the world that we can hold our own and we're tough on the streets, you know.
I also think like because like a lot of people like if you look at Chain Gang, right, and this is just my thoughts, right, it's like Kay always mentions like he'll rather bring in the RPers and then teach them how to the mechanics in the shooting, because the RP is what stays, right?
Yeah.
And something like if you just bring in shooters in your gang, it waters down your gang because that's all shooters want to do. And then they get bored and leave. So that's how I say it. That's how I seen Mandem, right? So it's like they were just strictly RPers, and it was so intense to watch them. Even wars were fun, even though they lost, but then eventually they started getting better because they needed that experience, that and a part of me as a viewer wish it did stay like that, because eventually you guys would have been able to do the shooty, and but also be the RPers are just natural. But I guess that didn't happen because you're saying the gang app kind of, and then half of y'all wanted y'all, and then
I think the thing is with the gang app, people were expecting like, oh, now we have to show that we're gang, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's where I would say the Mandem got lost, where like half the members were like, yes, we need to be tough on the streets, we need to be gang, and then the rest, like the other half was like, it was always a split. I guess like the biggest argument within the Mandem was, are we a gang or are we family? Are we a gang or are we a family? Are we a gang or are we a family?
Yeah.
Yeah, and me personally, I'd say the split between like pushing gang and pushing like I think there was a division between like gang and then we're Mandem. Let's stay true to ourselves, you know.
True to ourselves. I understand that. And
Yeah,
to dial back a bit, um, when you was in the Mandem,
yeah,
your character, Patar built a good reputation. You're. I noticed you like to do more of the slow burn RP because it
yeah.
builds. You have like patience and you're very consistent.
Hmm.
What was it like? I guess in the early age days, like even before like the roadman and stuff, like
Yeah.
being part of the decision making and like being around Tommy T, which is Zurka, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like with you? Because you've also experienced another like big streamer, big personality, Adin Ross. What was it
Yeah.
like now being around Zurka and stuff like that?
I like the thing is like Zerka's the boy, you know?
Yeah,
I don't I think that's the thing is you don't view it as like um the numbers, you know? I think you just view it as we enjoyed logging in, playing with each other, and he's the boy, you know? So me personally, I never looked at it as oh the numbers this, the numbers that, because when it comes to like role play or even like streamers in general, I am I am very uneducated with streamers, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. I think looking back at it, um I'm pretty sure Zurka was stream sniped by the weirdo.
Mm.
Because I know some of his friends that have stream sniped other people. But I guess that's one thing that, might have been good that came out of it is like us kind of meeting each other and just building what the Mandem was, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
But
you think a lot of people do that? They'll snipe to get where they at.
I think so. I wouldn't say everyone, but I think like I I think there's it's too much to be a coincidence sometimes, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like for example, some people will like they'll all of a sudden meet Coil and then boom, they're prio farming
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like they know how to find this person in the like for example XUC. If you watched XUC, there was especially early 3.0,
yeah,
there were so many times where people are like perfectly in the position where he's heading or going or places he's gonna be at, you know?
yeah,
So I would say there's a lot of that happens. Most of it's innocent, and I think it's just people excited to play with their favorite streamers, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Like even for the Mandem. The amount of UK presence exploded when Zurka joined the server.
yeah.
You know? Like normally on NoPixel you'd find like one or two people from the UK. The second Zurka came on, 90% of the server became UK.
Yeah,
You know, not 90%, but you
yeah.
get what I mean.
But
Yeah.
everybody with a UK accent was trying to get into Mandem, and that was it.
I think a lot of people helped. It's like the same way where you have like on Prodigy or people that like, oh look, I need Oxy. Oh shit,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy has like 50 Oxy for us, you know?
It's crazy because like I understand like 'cause I'm like you where it's like I'm very blue to like I'm very green to like the streaming world and stuff. So I
Yeah.
don't know but a lot of the stuff like even I don't even like to know who people are, but I see a lot of people like now being in the world, they'll position themselves to be around people at certain times or when these people are around and that streamer's around. And for me, it's just like any like streamer that was big that I've interacted with, like
Yeah.
like even X. I didn't interact with X until like 4.0. I think I met him once in 3.0 and he came out the apartments and he showed me like he had a police badge, but
Yeah.
and then we did some stuff for CG. But any big person, it's always just been like even Mandem. It took me a while to even talk to you guys because nothing for my RP it never aligned, right? Until like later on, that's when I started kind of hanging out with you guys later on 3.0.
Yeah. That's how I like it. Is like
That's
if
how
it
I like
happens,
it.
it happens.
That's
Like
how I
I love Lang. I love RPing with Lang. But unfortunately, like in 4.0, Qatar and Lang were enemies, you know?
Bro, I said the same
Yeah.
thing. I said the same thing. I was like, yo, I think like, you know, Lang to me is one of the top RPers. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, he's a brother too, right? So
Yeah. He's big.
bro, I've
Like,
always wanted
he's
to, but I was just
fallen,
like
he's yoked.
nothing ever has aligned where Zolo meets Lang. Like, you know, it's just 4.0 is just like sometimes the hot dog. But that was like even my first time talking to him in 4.0. It's just like I don't, you know, like I was like maybe, you know, one day it does align, you know? But that's like I'm agreeing with you. That's how I've always been. Like I've never just been like in the right time in the right place. Like nah. Like even with CG, I knew them like a year and a half before even hanging out with them, like just because of Wu Chang and shit, right? And building connections with like P Money, Randy at the time and stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead. Go.
That's how I actually met Rami. It was during the SSB area.
Oh, he came. He came through.
Yeah, I was helping them get on SSB at the time.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's actually how I met Rami. Because him and I had a what's it called when you have the same friend at the time? An acquaintance. We had a familiar acquaintance. So I helped him get on SSB and everything. So I knew Rami before even hopping onto NoPixel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's like I think that's the best way to like just go about it. Don't like just go where the RP takes you, you know? And I'm gonna be honest, me personally, I've been lazy with RP for past year.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like
why do you say that? Why do you say that, and why do you feel like that?
I feel because I know I like how much effort I used to put into like RP and how much fun I used to have RPing, and I can completely like I can tell there's a complete difference, especially now, probably for like the past year.
And why is that for you? Why is there not like a goal to get to? Or is there like
I think the thing is, I like RP for me used to be logging in, having fun with your boys, enjoying the day, and just going crazy. But then I'm gonna be honest, after reports and politics and people crying to me, oh, seeing DMs, this and that, I just lost the taste for like I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way, and it just pushed me away in a way where I pushed myself away. And it's more of like trying to recover to get that feeling back into RP, you know?
I agree with you because like even like before coming to NoPixel, like there was never a thing like OOC. Like
No,
OOC became became a thing.
OOC was -1ing.
Yeah.
That's what OOC was. Literally back in the day when I used to play, OOCing was accidentally -1ing.
Yeah.
Like saying, oh, I'm gonna go home and drive my car and be like, what? We're already at your house. And that would be OOC.
Yeah.
I wasn't ever exposed to this dirty OOC.
Yeah.
Where it's like feelings, reports, politics. Yeah.
Reports definitely like
especially while you're live. You see that notification, you've been reported, just ruins your whole mood.
I feel like reports are very, like you said, they could be very petty, they could be very political, especially if the person that's reporting you is well known, and vice versa. You could be well known and get reported and nobody, you know what I'm saying? and it's very
Yeah.
like that's why, like, you know, and even for admins, I'm sure it's a hard job. I'm only speaking from like my point of view as a player, but I'm sure it's a hard job for an admin where it's just like, what the fuck is this? And you know, a 2-minute context, and you know, you get banned, and you feel like, man, that shouldn't even have been a ban. It wasn't even that serious. Like, what? It does adjust your, and like you said, even the politics. There's a lot of politics you have to play. And I feel like, because when people are around each other for so long, when you have a server that's been around for 7 years, there's people who don't like each other. There's people who like each other, and then you're like this brand new person. You're coming in with this like hippity hippity. I'm so happy.
Cheery and happy.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, wait, you talking to my ops? And you're like, no, that's in game. Like, no, that's my op IRL. Oh, see, you're like, what?
And then
what the fuck?
You're stuck in between a divorce.
Yeah.
No, I think like, imagine having a fruit basket and then one rotten fruit kind of infecting all the other fruits.
And that's how it happens.
Kind of what happened to me, but I didn't cure the rotting fruit in my basket, you know? And I think that's kind of what has pushed me away.
Yeah.
In a sense of enjoying it as much as I used to, but I think, especially for like the past couple months, I've had that realization that I need to cure that fruit, the fruit, you know?
Well, and also that's why, like, I like, even like with me and Peanut doing the whole Dabario thing, I want you to be a part of it, and like even Pigeon, right? Like you, because like you and Pigeon, to me, like your type of RP I admire, because I'm like, it takes a lot of time, a lot of like, just even the way you guys brains things. I was like, yo, I want you guys to be a part of this. And you know, we also do have, you know, connections in the server where we can get kind of things to felicitate more RP. So I just kind of want to start it and then see where it goes, and you know, get that spark back, you know?
No, 100%. And I do appreciate that, because I've been needing to get that spark back, you know?
Yeah. And hey, maybe, like, you know, you never know, maybe we get some little whitelisted where, you know, it's like that's the guy you gotta go to. And you know, me and you've been advocates on like, some shit needs to get whitelisted for RP to be furthered and matured and understand it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. So you're going back to the Mandem era. You know, you're in this gang now, you're building up this reputation. Also, you guys, you make some great friendships out of that. You go to the UK. What was that experience like?
It more felt like a dream, I'm gonna be honest, because me traveling or going on vacation is like, that was probably my first proper vacation.
Yeah.
And it was like instantly clicking with these people that you met off the internet, which was kind of weird, because it's like you're meeting some random dudes off the internet. But it was nice because there was no awkwardness. It was an instant click, and it felt like we've been boys for so long, you know?
Yeah.
So we would just hang out every day. We just do our thing. We met up with a couple people there too. We met up with Alan. We were supposed to meet up with Pigeon.
Yeah.
But I was trying to juggle what we were doing together with the Mandem with Pigeon's schedule, and it just didn't end up working. But no, it was amazing vibes. I enjoyed every moment of it, and like, I wanted to go back this year, but I'm gonna go back like 2025. So
Nice.
yeah, we'll probably go back next year. But it was just nice, because it's just like meeting these internet friends, and it kind of made it real.
Yeah,
if that makes
it
sense.
kind of made
like
the official, like, as official.
It made it more official, yeah, because it's like, not in a million years would I think I'd be making friends playing a stupid game, pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way too, like as far as like
even meeting you guys, you know?
Yeah, because you spend
It's
so
the same
much
thing.
you spend so much time with people, like, you know, where like people will say, oh, it's a video game, but it's like, yo, you're doing 10, 11 hours a day with this person 6 months straight, 8 months straight, you know? You hop out the GTA, you go fucking play Black Ops, or the Discord, you do shit like this. And then you meet these people, you know, which is good. And I'm also glad, even, you know, most of the people that I've met,
Yeah.
you know, I've seen them prior, like, you know, like everybody that I pretty much hang out with face cams. And so you kind of, you know, not face camming became a thing, right? Where it's like, who is this person behind this camera, behind this, you know, this voice? And then now you meet up with them. It's like, even when I met Dean for the first time, me and him hung out, he's like, man, I can fuck with you because I've met you. I know your vibe. You're official, you know? Because he was going through the shit that you went through with, you know, X name, you know? So, you know, but I want to kind of touch on that, if you don't mind.
Touch on what?
You know, the stuff that happened with the homeboy.
The weirdo?
Listen, yeah. How much of a hit and effect did that have for the Mandem as a group, in RP and OOC? Like, how much of effect did that have on the boys and stuff?
I mean, in RP, I think, cause it was like 3 people lost up, like almost around the same time. So we lost like 3 OG members back to back per se. But more focusing on the weirdo, I think the issue was everyone felt a certain way and didn't like necessarily like or vibe with him that well. But no one ever said anything because everyone was like, "Oh, you know, I don't want to be the one that makes it weird within the group," you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, especially when like everyone heard the news, there was a good handful of people that took it like to heart, where like, you know, some people were like actually this, like, I don't, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like they felt very betrayed, you know? Like, a lot of people felt very betrayed, and everyone's like, we need to get our guard back up. Like, we can't have weirdos like this in the group. Like, da 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 da. In character, I think it, in a sense, bursted people. I think in character and OOC, it bursted people to kind of be closer with each other.
Yeah.
But I think it was like a very burst, like it was a big burst of energy, of being like, shit, like, it brought us closer because we actually opened up with each other and had genuine conversations with each other afterwards. But I think at that point, most people were kind of bored of RP. So, like, in a sense, within RP, losing like three OG members, it hit a small gang heavy, especially like when they were a big part of what the Mandem was per se. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they were there from like the beginning per se. So like losing 3 people, I think hit the gang in a sense of, I think it just hit the gang in a way where it would hit any gang, where it's like you lose 3 OG members, it would like change the dynamic of the gang a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it that well, but it like, I'm glad he's gone. You know, I wouldn't want a weirdo like that in the gang. But I think because we lost 3 members that were like OG, and they'd push like big arcs, it did affect the RP a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can understand that. And
yeah, because like all 3 of them would push like arcs, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously Dwayne said some stupid stuff without knowing what he's saying. Lana had her outburst, and then Adam's just a complete weirdo, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed also you guys were like kind of moving as kind of like a core group too, right? Like you guys were doing like starting to brand into like the YouTube tech segment and starting to become like almost like an it seemed like a more non GTA group now. Like y'all were branching out a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
Zurka would push us to branch out a lot. Like I'm gonna be honest, I feel so bad that none of us have really like put it to what we could push it to.
yeah,
But he made like a proper YouTube school for us. He pretty much gave us like a guidebook for YouTube. And like anytime the boys want to ask him any questions, he'll always give us his opinion. He'll help us regardless, whatever we need. But he made this like proper YouTube thing, and he was pushing us to record videos. It started off strong, and then I think people just ended up being like, I don't want to do YouTube, or I don't want to record, or
yeah,
we don't have enough people, and then it just ended up becoming those YouTube recording sessions was like in one other person or me or two people,
yeah.
and then it just like it started off strong, but then it trickled off.
Why is that? You think it's just like straight up didn't want to do it, laziness, streaming, tired, fatigue, like what?
That I don't know. I guess everyone maybe had their like own reasoning, but I think eventually the more it went on, it just people lost interest on it.
Mm. Man, yeah, because I heard Dean was even saying that Zurka was giving some crazy gems, man. Some crazy gems. He was giving the sauce.
Yeah, no, even in our Discord, we have a channel called YouTube School, and all the sauces there.
God damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's a great dude. Like even when I was in the UK, when I left, next time I go to the UK, I want to make this YouTube video idea because he gave me we were just I don't know if we were having dinner, but he's like, oh, this would be a sick YouTube video. Go do it. You know. So
That's
next
sick,
time I go
yeah.
to the UK, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, like he's just filled with
Yeah,
ideas.
he said he seems like a genuine dude, man, and for how big he
Yeah.
is too, he seems like very level-headed. Like he
He's
like he
super
like to
like
pull you
super
up.
humble.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he wants to see his boys succeed.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I like people like that because it's very rare, and they definitely should be appreciated on a whole nother light, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
No, he's a very, very, very good guy.
so 3.0 ends, basically Mandem die as a group.
Yeah.
4.0 happens. Where are you standing as far as Patar? Like, how you feeling? Are you just like, I'm gonna do my thing? Then or were you feeling like, man, I don't know what the fuck to do? Like,
I think it was more the second option. It was a mix of both. It was I'm gonna see where things go, but I don't know what I'm gonna do.
yeah,
My thing was if the band came back together and was like they want to make the Mend Them again, or
Yeah.
like be like, hey, we were brothers, let's start the Mend Them off and do it better this time, right? Or stay true to our roots or whatever, whatever decision they made. If the Mend Them actually continued, Qatar would have remained with the Mend Them. But within RP, it was more like we're a group of friends, but we're not a gang, this and that. So pretty much this was like when the manor was kind of starting off, right? So they bought a house together, and then eventually, a couple months down the line, that house became the manor house, the gang house. So Patar was gonna put money into that house just to help support the boys,
yeah,
but he wasn't gonna be a part of that house. Sparky had a conversation with Patar, being like, "Hey, if you're not gonna actually do it, and you're kind of doing charity work for us, don't do it." So then Patar didn't do it, and then Patar just went solo dolo for a bit. He was hanging out with the company a little bit. He was hanging out with other groups. He was hanging out with Civ Gang. So he was just hanging out with whoever came his way.
yeah,
But a lot of the days he would spend with Denzel. and they were just building like a massive Bitcoin farm. That was their goal. It was just whatever we are, at least we're brothers. Let's build this Bitcoin farm and see where life takes us.
Yeah, because Denzel went to
Civ Gang.
Civ Gang, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm sure it probably felt weird, right, for you? Because it's like I've been with these guys, I've created this family, and now it's like you're seeing this kind of parts of the family move on, and you're not
It's like
sure.
your kids growing up and leaving you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, damn. And then you got into CG.
Yeah. So, to be honest, Patar was gonna join the company,
Mm-hmm.
but OTT despises Denzel, and with their like working relationship, Patar was like, "This ain't gonna really work out." Plus, he would ask like his close friends, like, "What do you think of this gang? What do you think of that gang?" A lot of people were like, "I don't see the company building up."
Do you think you would have last? Because like, what, the company is basically Hades now, right?
Yeah, they're Hades now, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hades and
Bro, imagine
what's-
Patar in Hades. God damn.
I don't know if he would join Hades, maybe, but the part I was more interested in was Blau and his minions.
Yeah,
That's like the RP that was attracting me out of the company.
Blau has some
So
really good RP.
Yeah, so if Patar did join the company, he would do work with like Blau and his minions.
Yeah.
What are they called again? I forget.
Interns.
Interns, yes.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of his RP would have been with Blau and the interns.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the interns were like Blau's thing. That was his like department,
I wish that kept up, man. It's just like I don't know. I 4.0 was just so slow out of the gate. I think people just kind of just was like the whole the whole in your head you're waiting on something so you don't do certain things, and now you're just waiting, and now you're not, and it's like
yeah.
Yeah, so now you're in CG, like, so it's kind of like you've had a good story, man. Like you, like, even from Adin Ross crew to the Mandem, now to CG, like you've done well on like position your characters where these as real established groups want to fuck with you, and that is something hard to do in RP, and people don't really look at that, because not a lot of people can do that.
Now it's time for Patar to retire.
Imagine what do you think's next for Patar, and what do you think's next for Moose, like just IRL, and what do you think next for like RP wise?
RP wise, I want to put the effort I used to put back into RP and like find that love I had for it again.
Yeah.
And just put like effort into my RP again, because a lot of my RP has been like public servery. It's just log in, do my thing, shoot a couple people, maybe do a couple things to laugh, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think RP wise is fall back into RP, be creative again, and do the things I've been always kind of wanting to do.
Yeah.
And I think Moose wise, I think it's the same with like you. It's more IRL streams, more maybe vlogs or adventures. I've been talking to Wayne. I think we're gonna be going magnet fishing, going like proper fishing. I can't do any cop stuff because I know too many cops in my area.
Yeah.
So
CG
we're
Wayne.
not
CG Wayne. Yeah.
CG Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna be suing any cops together or hunting down any cops together. I know we want to do like a little road trip. I think when the summer comes, we're gonna push a lot of IRL stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That's the way to go, man.
Yeah.
That is the way to go.
That's the goal. We'll have to see.
That's what's up, bro. Bro, personally, like, I think you've got tremendous talent. I think anybody that's really in CG has crazy talent, and I think sometimes you play the background. Sometimes I'm like, what? Like, you play it too much. It's like you're such a big personality. but also I understand you like the slow burn stuff, so you're more and the storytelling and stuff like that. And I'm hoping, and that's what I said. I'm hoping, you know, even with the server Prodigy we're on, it can eventually establish itself to be more of a RP oriented server.
Yeah.
Because we need some arcs, that are gonna be understandable, you know, and guys like you shine. Like that's what I said. You and like the pigeons, those are the guys. I'm just like, man, I'll watch and be like, yo, how the fuck they do that, and that, you know. Yeah. So I guess that's what's next for you. Also, when I come down there too, we got to do some stuff.
Last time you came, you didn't
Yeah.
contact me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You have my number now.
I got your number. We'll do some shit, even if it's I think we should do some food stuff, right? Some cool shit.
I'll be down.
Yeah.
You wanna go to a Brazilian steakhouse?
Yeah,
I don't think we can record in there. Probably wouldn't. They're bougie.
Yeah, they're bougie.
Yeah, they're bougie.
We'll do some stuff. We'll figure out an idea to do.
Okay.
And you know, we'll get it moving. Again, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Appreciate you, Zozo.
Yo, an hour went by. This was really, really good. Great to see your insight. And like, hey, I asked you to come on. You're like, yeah, next day. Like, you're always prompt on time, and I respect that. And thank you so much. Even though we had to push it back an hour, you know, I respect that.
I got you, Zozo. I appreciate you having me.
Guys, if you like the interview, you like the pod, make sure you like, subscribe. If I missed any questions, write them in the comments. Hey, we might have part 2. All right?
Subscribe.
Peace and love.